What album changed your taste in music forever? What's something weird about your partner that you're now used to? What is a clear sign someone is online too often? Checking the comments to check if I'm online too often. Same, bro. When hanging out with people in the real world, they mainly talk about online drama. Live and let live. But the minute you feel yourself going sadistic and going off on other people, it's time for a break. A Steam friend of mine has 10,000 hours on a single game and much more on other games, and some of these games have been released for just 2 to 3 years. Do your math and see what that means. They have to charge their phone daily / multiple times a day. I mean, don't most people? Are you not charging your phone daily? They say things like SMH or unironically say something like PogChamp. Those are pretty good signs that you're a little chronically online. View their profile. If they have posts that's 15 minutes from each other. Or comment every minute. Asking strangers on a website what is a clear sign someone is online too often. Whatever that means. It is bad to be online as much as I am, so I'm trying to do that thing that people tell me to do online, which is, what was it? Touch grass? You just won $1 billion. What are you still not buying? Reddit Premium, $1,000 steaks covered in gold leaf. Any food involving gold leaf. It's so stupid. Extended warranty for my car. No matter how rich I am, I'll never need an extended warranty. If I'm rich, I can just buy a new car. NFTs. I'm so glad collective bullying pretty much works because I haven't seen a single thing talking about NFTs in so long. Farts in a jar. I prefer mine homemade, thanks. A blue check mark. Look, if you spent the money to get the check mark, I'm legally allowed to make fun of you forever. A mega yacht. Seems like all the uber rich folks feel the need to buy one. Just a big, stupidly expensive, constantly in need of work and maintenance money pit. Status symbols are dumb. If they would actually use the yachts, then I wouldn't have as much of a problem, but most of the time they just buy them to leave them sitting in a dock. Snapchat Plus. Is there a point to Snapchat Plus? Maybe it gets rid of ads from when you're watching people's stories, but I don't do that normally. That Epstein kissed himself. I'd be careful. With that amount of money, you don't know if somebody's gonna try and Epstein you. My ex's BS. Who is the most iconic Canadian? The North American house hippo. I have zero context for this. Canadians, let me know what this is. Gretzky the GOAT. I'm actually really dumb because I thought Wayne Gretzky was a murderer, not just a really good hockey player. Keanu Reeves. You got Brad Pitt, we got Keanu Reeves. Are y'all really not going to mention Robin Sparkles? Let's go to the mall. Celine Dion. I didn't know she was Canadian. Ike from South Park. How can you not like the little guy? Ryan Reynolds. Mike Myers. Too many celebrities are secretly Canadian. It's not fair. Jim Carrey. Again, another Canadian? Like, come on. What could you do in 2013 that you can't do now? Get out of a chair without saying, oof, too real, man. Enjoy YouTube. You're still able to enjoy YouTube, you just have to find the right creators. Get on Vine. I do wonder how much I'd cringe looking at some of the Vines I used to think were really funny. Hear Gangnam Style, What Does the Fox Say, and Party Rock Anthem Everywhere You Went. Eat a milkshake without my jiggling for a week. What does this mean? I guess lactose intolerance? I at least hope so, because I don't know what other kind of scary explanation there could be for that. Afford rent. I do wish I could go back in time just for those housing and apartment prices. Drop it like it's hot. Not with these knees. Just enjoy the Harry Potter universe without being told you are a terrible human for doing so. Assume people's pronouns. I can't tell what the point of this answer is. Like, are they saying that it's annoying that they can't assume people's pronouns now? What movie never fails to make you laugh / feel good? The Princess Bride. Mean Girls. Pineapple Express. Elf. I can't imagine watching Elf any other time than the holidays. Office Space. The Big Lebowski. I need to go back and rewatch the movie because I think I only registered like the first half. I have no clue what happens after that. The Dictator. Sacha Baron Cohen's style of comedy is so fascinating, you just have to watch. Austin Powers. For as wild and loose as Austin Powers is, he does respect consent, so that's a plus. People could learn from him. Austin Powers. Any of them. It did take me a while to actually watch the first Austin Powers because the only ones I'd ever seen was 2 and 3. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. What song do you listen to in order to cry? Unfortunately, my tear ducts are dried up, but if I had to pick one, one, probably Me and My Dog by Boy Genius. Everlong by Foo Fighters. The acoustic version, I bet. Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. Lightning Crashers by Live. Live? I don't know how I say the band name, I'm sorry. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Hurt, the Johnny Cash version of the song. I got whiplash when I learned Nine Inch Nails was the original creators of the song, and because Johnny Cash just owns it. It's his. My friend's moms listen to Christina Aguilera. She's got some songs that tug on the heartstrings, I can see it. Run by Snow Patrol. Fix You by Coldplay, because he wrote it for his wife after losing her dad. I think that was the story, and I lost my dad/best friend to lung cancer. It's a loss and pain and nothing and no one can ever cure. Goodbye, My Lover by James Blunt. Who Knew by Pink. It was the background song in my friend's memorial video. I sobbed. To this day when I hear it, can bring me to tears. What simple pleasures do you enjoy the most? Sleeping. Don't we all? Hot/warm showers/baths. If the water isn't hot enough to boil your skin, did you really shower? Cool side of the pillow. I think flipping the pillow to the cool side is like the reload animation of sleeping. Quietness after a long, busy day. I mean, I wish it was quiet, but the voices, they just won't stop talking. First sip of coffee in AM. It's like they say, the best part of waking up is coffee in your cup. And no, I won't say the brand name because no free ads. A bowel emptying poop. The only real way to tell if it was bowel emptying is if you stand on the scale and you lost 7 pounds. Food. Good answer, but then it leads into the extra questions of what kind of food, what's your favorite, blah blah blah. When I go to sit on the toilet and my cat's coming running to see what I'm doing. It is cute, but it's still a little bit invasive, don't you think? Peanut butter. That is the simplest pleasure, I think. Taking shoes and socks off at the end of a long day. Especially if they were long socks, so you kind of get to rub all around your legs. And, oh, it feels so nice. A nice head rub once in a while. Take me to dinner first, jeez. What's something unique and quirky about your country? Pretending we're more free than other countries while not even allowing people to switch jobs without threatening their health care. Don't forget banning abortion like a third world theocracy. I wonder what country they're talking about. I can't tell. Massive distances between cities and strange animals according to everyone else. Australia? Yep. I'm getting sick of this worldwide gaslighting that's going on because I know Australia doesn't exist. I've looked at maps. It's not there. Our language is very quirky. Easy. Finnish. The spruce is on fire. Kusipala. The spruce returns. Kusipala. The number 6 is on fire. Kusipala. The number 6 returns. Kusipala. 6 of them are on fire. Kusipala. 6 of them return. Kusipala. Your moon is on fire. Kusipala. Your moon returns. Kusipala. 6 pieces. Kusipala. That gave me a headache just reading it, so I'm sure if I was in a conversation and they said it, I'd be lost. It has highest amount of meteorite craters per square kilometer in the world. I have no clue where that would be. Got more than 100 languages. There is 4 countries in the country where I live. We have the world's largest man-made island, which is over 90 times bigger than the second largest. Saudi Arabia? Nope, the Netherlands. It is the Flevopolder at a massive 970 square kilometers. Despite the famous quote, "They'll never take our freedom," they have, in fact, taken our freedom. Kind of. Yes and no. It depends on what you mean by it. Our entire identity is "We're not America." Sounds like Canada, but it could also be a lot of other countries. Our flag has dragon. Wales! No, they said dragon. Everyone thinks we speak Spanish because every country around us speaks Spanish, but we speak Portuguese. Also samba. Brazil? Yep. I actually didn't know that people spoke Portuguese in Brazil. I feel a little dumb admitting that, and I'm sorry in general. What TV shows went on too long? The Walking Dead. It's pretty hard to believe a lot of those people kept living. That 70s show was 1 season too long. I mean, when you lose the lead actor, you kinda just gotta end it, right? Grey's Anatomy. Dexter. Season 4 was amazing and then just became trash. Shameless. Should have stopped when Fiona left. I agree, the season after Fiona leaves was kinda meh for me, so I haven't even watched the last season. Scrubs. The last season, with basically a brand new cast, was complete garbage. What do a lot of people call a red flag, but isn't actually a red flag? Talking about your ex. Depends on the context. Are they insulting them? Or are they just talking about what went wrong and what went right? Not having much social media presence. It's definitely not as bad as people make it out to be, though it is a little bit more difficult getting to know the person in some regards. Disinterest in talking 24/7. Often mistaken for lack of conversation communication skills. OMG, I can so relate to this. Not liking dogs. Obviously being abusive towards animals, or if they're unreasonable, like making you choose between the dog and them. But so many people act like if you aren't a dog person, that's a sign you're actually a horrible, abusive monster. It's a two-way street, people. People don't like cats, people don't like dogs. It's fine if you don't like one or the other. Having friends of the opposite sex, unless that person has a history of making sexual/romantic advances towards their opposite sex friends, it's not a big deal. People can relax. A dark pink flag. It's clearly mauve. I don't know, it looks a little magenta to me. What's something you'll just never believe? Flat Earth. If someone believes that the Earth is flat, it is actually okay to bully them. Ghosts. I can't see that belief existing alongside my non-religious beliefs. I mean, you can believe in ghosts without being religious. There are a ton of different people of different spiritualities that do believe in ghosts, see spirits, all that kind of stuff. That any product whatsoever is anti-aging. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have anything that stops aging, so you're kind of getting scammed. That evil people are evil without reason. I mean, like, sometimes it's true, other times it's not, so it's a mixed bag. That Kevin is a good guy. I don't know who this Kevin is, but I don't buy it either. That pickles are cucumbers. Maybe cucumbers are just really bland pickles. Giant, boring pickles. When I learned that pickles were just like soured up cucumbers, I had a whole like, I don't like tomatoes, but I love ketchup moment, and it hurt me. Woke/cancel culture. In the past years, woke and canceled have become such meaningless terms to me because nobody knows what they actually mean when they're saying that. That planes fly. It is completely impossible for that steel giant to take to the skies. They are clearly fooling us. Yeah, I mean, the Wright brothers, when they discovered flight, it happened on accident. Just at one time, the plane flew and they're like, damn, I don't know how this happened, but whatever. Everyone deserves a second chance. There are definitely people that do not deserve second chances. Astrology. It's like, no, Brittany, you aren't bad at math because you're a Virgo. You just can't do math. What is your best backhanded compliment? You never fail to live up to my expectations of you. I love how you'll just wear anything. That is like a precision backhand compliment. That is like, ow, that kind of hurts. You're not as annoying as I thought you'd be. Beautiful way to ruin an interaction. You're the peak of the bell curve. I really liked that too when I was younger. It's really difficult to underestimate you. I don't understand that one entirely. That sucked less than I expected. My name is not that, okay? It's Brandon, alright? I hope your day is as pleasant as you are. Right after they've been a right twat. You actually look nice for a change. Oh, so I look like every other day? Thanks for the confidence boost. That's pretty impressive coming from you. Wisdom chases you everywhere, but you always seem to outrun it. I don't care what everyone else says. You're alright. Wait, what does everybody else say? Hang on. I had a friend once tell me, you've always been gross, but in a good way. I still don't know how to feel about it. What's a concept you can't understand? How dental and vision are different forms of health insurance. Teeth are optional bones. Until they're not optional when you need to eat things. I cannot understand the concept of infinity. Well, so it's basically like, so you say you have like one thing, and then you have more of that one thing forever. It's just always there. That we are composed of unconscious matter that somehow gains a consciousness. At what point does the collection of nerves and electrical synapses that individually lack consciousness become aware? Shut up. I didn't need to read this at 12 a.m. Now I'll think about this for the next week. Come on, dude. You shouldn't just be causing existential crises like this. When in a public place, surrounded by a lot of strangers, it's hard for me to imagine how they each have their own separate lives, and that this one bus ride, or meal at a restaurant, or wait in line will most likely be the only moment for the rest of eternity where these people's paths will cross. I mean, with almost 8 billion people on Earth, it is really hard to conceptualize that all of these people are living their own lives. Adults being abusive towards children, particularly adults who hit their child or do things to make their child cry. I know it happens a lot about, I don't understand how adults justify it. Children are so small. The best part of this cycle is when the child grows up and stops talking to their parents, the parents always play the victim like, oh, what did I do wrong? People who genuinely care about every little part of a celebrity's life. Like, it's exhausting to keep up with these people you're never gonna meet. Left and right, analog clocks, romantic love, so many things. Is that really common that people don't know their left from right? If it is, let me know. Retirement age compared to life expectancy. Retire at 50, 60, 75. Live until 68. I often think of how other people are looking through their eyes and not mine. It seems so weird thinking that everyone is so much like me but so different at the same time. What movie scene traumatized you the most as a kid? Artax in the Swamp of Sadness. Never fully recovered. Goddamn Land Before Time when Littlefoot's mom dies right in front of his eyes. Yo, spoilers! The Large Marge scene from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It had no right to be that scary. Like, I was just an innocent little boy, and oh my god. Derek stomping the guy's jaw/head on the curb in American History X. Oh gosh, I'd actually forgotten about how traumatizing that scene was. I was a young adult when the film came out. My question is, why exactly were you watching American History X as a kid? My girl, hands down. I literally could not stop crying. And I was a kid. I know. My kids found it on Netflix and kept asking me to watch it with them and always said no. I finally watched it with them and was crying like 2 minutes in. They looked at me like I had two heads and I said through my tears, you just don't understand. Stephen King's It, the 1990s version. After seeing the clown come out of the shower, I was terrified of my shower. I would get in and shower as fast as possible, and I was always watching for white gloves coming out of the drain. I also met another guy my age who had the same experience. Don't be scared, Billy boy. Tim Curry owned that movie. Part that freaked me out was the Chinese restaurant scene with all the weird crap in the fortune cookies. Seems pretty tame now, but the scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where the shoe gets dipped. Oh, no, I get it. That freaked me out as a kid. I thought you could actually just die in like anti-cartoon juice or whatever it was. I grew up watching horror movies. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, etc. But none scared me as much as the librarian from the opening of Ghostbusters, which is really funny to think about now. The horse scene from Neverending Story. The original Alien chest-bursting scene. There's a lot of other stuff that can traumatize you in Alien. Not saying that isn't one of them, but there's a lot. Coraline seeing her mother with button eyes. That entire movie, actually. What's your guilty pleasure movie? White Chicks. Easy A. It's so clever. I absolutely love Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson as the parents. The jokes land for the most part. It's relatable. It also came out when I was reading The Scarlet Letter in school, so the timing was impeccable. 10 Things I Hate About You. She's the Man. Is that the last thing Amanda Bynes was in? I don't remember. Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. I do need to give it another chance because I tried watching it a while ago, didn't really grab me too quick, so I stopped. Dirty Dancing and A Few Good Men. Clueless. As If. Happy Gilmore. A lot of those older Adam Sandler movies really just hit in a certain way. What's a normalized red flag? Love at first sight somehow. People who like to joke around by insulting and upsetting people. Yeah, it really comes off strange if you're just gonna insult people and call it a joke. If you don't know the person, it's just mean. Lack of trust. This. For instance, I always read about how it's normalized to men not trust their girlfriends when they go out with their friends because they know what other guys thinking. I mean, okay, but if you trust her, then it shouldn't be a problem. It's really weird, agreed. Someone being overly controlling. Is this a normal thing? Like, I mean, I guess it happens, but I don't know. Moving in quickly. Sometimes it works out, but the majority of the time, it's a tactic to make it harder for you to leave so you'll put up with more BS. China? You. I like you. Not cleaning up after yourself. Being a slob, but passing it off as, it's not important to me. People who go through the other's phone without permission, or doing literally anything except communicating with them to see if they're cheating in a relationship. While I don't have anything to hide in my phone, if you do snoop around and look through it, I'm gonna be suspicious of you forever. Anyone who asks about red flags on Reddit for the gazillionth time. I mean, look, there's only so many questions in the world, you know? What to do with all those hundreds of thousands of digital photos we all have? I did think about this recently because I have too many pictures saved in my phone and half of them I don't look at. Print them all out and wallpaper your house with them, even the ceiling. That sounds dangerous if you got some risky pictures. pictures. Check them out from time to time when you are nostalgic. Show your kids one day, or your grandkids. Make a music video like this or like this. I don't know what they are, but those are cool, yeah! Get a digital picture frame. Some just run off SD/USB drives, while others can connect to Wi-Fi and automatically sync up to your Google Photos. I normally go through it once a month or so and archive ones I want to keep, otherwise delete them. I've literally just registered the domain name picture.com, so I can try and solve this problem myself. Every couple of years, have to buy a bigger HD, transfer, back up to remote location, then never look at them again. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but if you're never gonna look at them, you could just delete them, or a frame set to change every 15 seconds. Watch it like a TV when I'm in that room. Seek and destroy, or search and delete. Look through random ones when bored. That's a pretty good question, LOL. What's the most touching or emotional video game you've ever played? It's kind of a toss-up. I'd say probably something like To the Moon and The Last of Us. The Last of Us really stuck with me. Life is Strange was a pretty emotional one too, if you really took your time and didn't rush through. Absolutely. The first 5 minutes of The Last of Us. The Last of Us was such an accidental purchase when I was younger when it came out, and oh my god, it gripped me so hard I have choke marks. God of War Ragnarok. I felt like I had a son. He was keeping to himself and all I'm trying to do is protect him. I literally cried whilst playing Spiritfarer. It was so good. Seconded. Such an amazing emotional experience. Outer Wilds. 1 year since finishing it and I still think about it almost daily. It's hard to explain why without spoiling the premise, so if you're curious, just dive in. I promise you won't regret it. Journey. The whole idea is that you can meet someone there and just proceed together without any communication except just a couple sounds your tune can make. I never knew the second player, never met them again, but I was lucky enough to walk this whole thing with them from start, and at the end, I cried from a feeling like I lost an old friend once it was over. Final Fantasy VII. I'll see your FF7 and I'll raise you my FFX. 7 hurt more for me personally. Red Dead Redemption 2. May I stand unshaken. What's something weird about your partner that you're now used to? Them not existing. It took a while, but I'm good with it now. He says, I gotta go pee-pee when he gets up to go to the bathroom. We're in our mid-30s. To be fair, that started because we were training our dog, but now it's weird and hysterical and I love it. He never throws food away. He puts it in the microwave to eat later, but never actually eats it. He grew up in poverty and was not allowed to throw food away. It's good to not want to waste food, but in the end it's getting wasted, so it's still kind of a double-edged sword. He's always grumpy. Took me a while to get used to, but it's just who he is, and I'm okay with it. I used to mess up the name of the month on our dry erase calendar, and now it has turned into us constantly doing it wrong on purpose to see who notices. Right now, it is apparently September, my favorite month. He farts a lot, LOL. That she digs a bald, big, sometimes smelly me. Pretty weird of her. I don't even like me as much as she likes me. He's scared of the texture of moisturizer and will spend whatever amount of money just for the spray version. She saves the last 2 bites of her Chipotle order in tinfoil and calls it her burrito ball. She claims it's a snack for later, but I have never been able to fathom why so little is worth saving / enjoyable to eat. Ask her? Yeah, that's the easiest way to get your answer. Ask her. If she's your girlfriend, she should be able to answer that. Enter the thread thinking I'm too weird to date. Leave the thread thinking I'm too normal to date, LMAO. Her unique time sense. For her, the day is not so much measured in the obsolete and boring minutes and hours, but rather soons, in a fuse, or be right there's. There is no way to predict these. You just have to pack for all eventualities and brew a cup of patience. An absurd exercise such as making an appointment like, I'll be there at 4, is not only futile, but also somehow my fault when she arrives 45 minutes late because she ran out of gas, then remembered she had left her wallet at Linda's, but luckily the yarn store had a sale, so it all worked out. She is crestfallen if I slightly bring up that I've been standing outside waiting since 5 to 4. Luckily for her, she has big boobs and is hot as hell, and I'm a simpleton. Well, at least you understand the little hierarchy there. That he doesn't exist IRL. Hey, you can't copy my answer. Make up your own. What song is in your head right now? A song from TikTok that doesn't have a name. It's just a sound from someone who played the guitar. Sweet Child of Mine. I'm listening to it right now. Jolene by Dolly Parton. One of the greatest songs of all time, and it'll always be my favorite one. Dark Necessities by RHCP. Great song. song, Sweet Caroline, and it's playing on my phone RN. My son was very loudly singing the theme from The Simpsons in the shower. It could be heard all over our house, and now I can't shake it. Because you asked in your head, I now have Zombie by the Cranberries stuck in there. Thanks for that. You're welcome. It's a good song. Theme song from Pirates of the Caribbean, Heart-Shaped Box, Nirvana, Blurred Lines. Hey, hey, hey! I am so sorry. Unless you enjoy that song, personally, I can't get you out of my head because of this question. Redbone by Childish Gambino. All the leaves are brown and the skies are gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. California Dreamin'. What album changed your taste in music forever? I'd probably say Birdie by Slaughter Beach Dog. It's not really my entire music taste, but it did open me up to a lot more options. Kid A by Radiohead took me from grunge to beeps and boops. American Idiot by Green Day. I had never heard anything like it, and it turned out my uncle was a punk in the 80s and still follows the music and lifestyle, and when he found out, he introduced me to some really cool old school punk and metal albums. Never looked back, and he is my favorite relative for a bunch of reasons. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, 1977. I feel like that album just changed music in general. Ride the Lightning by Metallica was like a gateway drug into metal for me. Not a huge metalhead myself, but I do appreciate Metallica. Oh, and look at that, we're out of time. Thank you everyone for watching once again. My name has been Brandon, and I will talk to you another day. Bye!